Have you ever wondered what it would take to become an auto mechanic in Canada? Well, wonder no more. My name is Jeremy. I've been in the automotive industry pretty much since 2012 and have been an automotive technician starting in 2018. I did my apprenticeship at Volkswagen in Chatham, and I'm going to be going over kind of what it takes to get into this industry and the different paths to get there. So in Canada, and especially in Ontario, there are 3 or 4 real ways to get into the trade. The first and easiest for most people is to get sponsored by a repair shop, whether that be an independent garage or a dealership. Once you are registered in the apprenticeship program, you can begin working underneath a journeyman, someone that's been licensed previously, and then you will be offered classroom training. So there's actually 2 different ways you can do the classroom training too at this point. You can either do, I think they call it day release, where 1 day every week for about a year, I believe, you go to a trade school. Now in Canada, an automotive technician is under the Red Seal, or is considered a Red Seal trade. So that means you have to either be an apprentice or be a licensed journeyman in order to work in the trade. So yeah, you can either do the day release where you do a level over a full year, or you can do what most of us do and what I did, where you get your job and then you wait for an offer to classroom training, and then you'll leave your position at work. They'll lay you off and you attend class for 2 months. And then at the end of the 2 months, you take your practical and written exams, and then you return to work, and then they'll let you know whether you passed or failed, and then you either wait for your invite for the next level, or you wait for your invite to redo that level. And there are 3 levels, so you have to do 3 different 2-month periods in trade school. That's the most common way that people get into the trade in Canada. In Ontario, there's something called Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program, where if you are still in high school, you can register for this program, and immediately after graduation, say you could go do level 1 without needing a sponsor. Then after that, you have to find a sponsor yourself. I'm not sure how much employers look at these programs to recruit. I think it's pretty much a gentleman's agreement that you don't recruit from school, as that could cause a little bit of bad blood between shops and dealerships. So that's a way to get into level 1 without being sponsored. You can do it fresh out of high school. The other way you can do it is by going to a 2-year program that teaches you righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, all the way up to how to do basic electrical diagnosis and the basic theories behind that. All your basics like brakes, oil changes, all of that stuff is covered in one of those courses. There's, I believe, 2 different types of courses you can do. One of them is a 2-year program. I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called now. The name is slipping my mind. I went to trade school with a guy named Tommy that went that route, and then you can bypass level 1. Now, he chose to do level 1 again after getting a sponsorship and actually working in the field, because he felt like he didn't grasp everything that was taught in the motive power, that's what it's called. So he didn't feel like he had grasped enough from motive power, so he ended up doing level 1 again, which kind of defeats the purpose of motive power. But I think it was probably the right call for him, because he really flourished in school with the rest of us. I believe he was top of the class, or at least top 5. That's one version of that. And then there's a similar program that's only a year, but I believe your eligibility for level 2 is the same. I'm not entirely sure what the differences are between those two programs. Now, if you are getting out of high school and you don't know if it's right for you, I think either doing the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program or the Motive Power course could be a good way to dip your toes in without any really in-depth investment. In Ontario, and I think for all of Canada actually, automotive technicians have to buy their own tools. So if you wanted to dip your toes in without investing thousands of dollars in hand and power tools, that would definitely be the route to go. I would recommend the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program then, because I believe the cost is significantly less, if it has a cost at all. I know to do level 1, 2, and 3, I think I paid $500 per level because it's heavily subsidized by the government. That's probably one of the benefits to doing this in this country. Also, at the end, if you passed your courses, you were given a grant, which I believe was $1,000 for level 1, $1,000 for level 2, and then after you passed level 3 and wrote the C of Q, Certificate of Qualifications course, then you got an additional $2,000. So the schooling really costs nothing at the end of the day, which is incredible. But if you are like me, you had a little bit of hands-on experience and you just had a passion for it, and you kind of already knew that this was the route you wanted to take, then definitely finding a sponsor, just going to work, is the best way to do it. And side bonus, when you're in school, you're collecting employment insurance. So it's really low risk. Mind you, employment insurance doesn't pay as much as full-time employment, but it's really close. And then there's also travel expenses. So you can come out pretty close to break even depending on your situation. So those are the 3 major ways to get into this trade. I'm sure I missed some details. So if you're in Canada and there's something important that I missed, leave it down in the comments, and we'll help some fellow future technicians out. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.